Hey, long time no see. I know. Just give me a second. I'll just put that on the camera somewhere. Um, so it's April now. I don't really remember the last time I filmed one. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. I just thought I'd film one because, well, both of my roommates are gone. They're both sick. It's not the weekend, it's Monday, but they're both very sick. So they had to go home. I had a lot to talk about before I turned on the camera, and all I can say now is ums and thumbs and... Alright. Let's start with today. So today I had a differential equation quiz. That actually marks the end of the major events that I had packed, absolutely packed throughout the month. I have like 10 days left until finals. It has been honestly a crazy month for me. A crazy last month for me. That has been, just a lot of stuff. I've done a presentation on a work called Concrete Utopia. I had to watch that. That's a movie. I had to watch that movie 12 times. I basically memorized the entire sequence of the movie. So if I see one scene, I know exactly what's going to happen in the next scene. Not just what's going to happen, I know how it's filmed. So from which angle I'm going to see it. Yeah, I'm never watching that movie again. It's not a bad movie, it's just not fun, if you get what I mean. It's a good movie, it's just not it's not Avengers Endgame, let's just put it that way. I had a Chinese quiz, a English language quiz, a reading quiz, a AP electricity and magnetism quiz. I had to prepare for a patriotic assembly speech, more on that later. I had to prepare for an English literature quiz. I had IMMC for 5 days. And today I had my differential equations quiz. So that was a lot. That was just a lot of stuff. But it's over now. Yeah. Oh, I think that's exactly when I filmed it. That was like, exactly 2 weeks ago. Something like I stood in front of this camera around about like March 16th or something like that. Because I know... No, it's not 16th. It was something like 20th, I don't know, something like that. Because I know I was home during like March 12th or that week, because I submitted U Chicago and I filmed the video reflection then. 2 weeks down the line, that's at IMMC, so it was probably like a week, like 2 weeks ago for me. Yeah. So that's basically my schedule, and what's on my mind? APs are on my mind. APs. I have pivoted my strategy. It is very simple. I'm not going to spend too much time on AP Literature and AP Language, or AP English Literature and AP Language, because those are not constants. Just because I spend a lot of time writing essays does not guarantee that I get a 5. You could say the same thing for basically every other subject, but these two are more volatile. You could spend a lot of time writing, and just if you have a bad writing condition, or if you get a writer's block on the test day, you're basically done for. I know that there's a certain point where you improve your skills beyond a certain point and you become very good at writing in all types of environments and situations where it doesn't really matter what kind of condition or mood you're in at the test day, and you can just write banger after banger after banger and get like 5 to 6 points on all three. But I have exactly, actually I think it's exactly a month. Yeah, it's like I have exactly a month left until APs, especially my AP English Literature exam. So that's not happening. So instead, I'm going to allocate my time between AP Micro and Macro and AP Studio Arts. So those are 4 APs right there that I plan on getting 5s on. And I think I can definitely do that. Those are constants. I feel like those are constants. And I also feel like I'm going to be able to get a 5 on the AP English Language quiz. I think that's pretty constant too. I am pretty confident. And if I can get a 5 on AP English Language, I can probably also get a 5 in AP English Literature, because really it's just writing. If I can get a 5 on one, then I'm pretty sure I can get a 5 on the other, because it's not, making the ideas that scares me. It's writing the essays and timed essays. If I can do timed essays, then I'm pretty sure I can get 5s on both. But I will spend time studying AP English Literature and AP English Language after my midterms. So there's like a 2-week gap. That's barely 2 weeks. That's like this is when my midterms end. That's 1. And 2 is already APs. So Jesus. So there's barely a 2-week gap, and it's not like I'm not going to study Micro and Macro then, right? So the idea is I try to finish as much of Micro and Macro economics as possible right now, while I simultaneously work on my studio art portfolio. And when APs, like when midterms roll over, I'll spend more time on writing. So I'll just spend basically like 2 weeks just nonstop writing. That's basically going to be my entire life for those 2 weeks, and a bit of Macro and Macro on the side. Yeah. So that's it for APs. Now let's go to the bigger scope of things, the macroscopic view of my life. I am having a lot of thoughts on where I want to go, what I want to do, and what feels right for me. I know it's premature, and it's like, you don't have to worry about that right now. And I agree, and I don't want to worry about that right now, okay? It's not like, it's not a choice. It's kind of a situation. So on one hand, there's this side of me that thinks you are not very good at engineering or physics or math, and so you should probably you would be much better or much happier pursuing what you actually love doing, which is like making stuff and doing projects. And I don't know, not majoring, but just going to Brown. Okay, Brown, no offense. I might end up picking you for early decision, so no offense. But that side of me says you just apply to Brown and you just have a jolly time, the 4 years there. You do what you want, you pursue the projects you want, the lectures you want to listen to, and yeah, I mean, you just have a good time, and it's need blind, or supposedly need blind. I don't know if that's real, but since they're supposedly need blind, you can just enjoy it guilt-free. And then the other part of me says, yeah, you're not the best at engineering, but look where you are. You're at KMLA. There's a lot of really smart kids here, and you're above average here. So just because you're kind of bad at engineering compared to all these other geniuses there's really no reason to be discouraged, you know? It doesn't mean your talent means nothing. You can still do something with it. So let's go to let's go to the United States, get a degree in engineering, and set that as a safe baseline for whatever else you want to do. Besides, everything else you want to try is all related to making stuff, doing projects, and what's that? That's basically engineering. So what's the whole point of pivoting away from engineering and abandoning that tech tree entirely, right? And so I have these two parts, and these two parts differ significantly on multiple fronts, but especially when it comes to college application strategies. So the former part wants to apply to Brown Early Decision and call it a day. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to get accepted to Brown Early Decision. I know the chances are really low, but I think I have a fair shot. And then part B, or the latter part of me, is just like, have you looked at the engineering school ranking list? Yeah, most of them are public schools, and I have like a 1560 in the SAT and like 11, 12, 13 APs, 11, 12, 13 fives on the APs. So if like state schools are going to be your safeties, might as well just write MIT for restrictive early action. And I mean, just try. If it doesn't work out, shoot, we'll just go to public schools because I love public schools. What's wrong with public schools? UT Austin, U Michigan, UIUC, UC Berkeley, UCLA, Purdue. Like, what's wrong? I love those schools. Those schools are great. Like, U Michigan's still one of my favorite schools. I don't know why, which is something with their marketing team and Go Blue and all of that. But so yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be, if I have a good chance of being accepted to any one of those schools as a safety, then why not apply to REA MIT? If you get in, that's unbelievable. It's fantastic. It's probably not going to happen, but still, why not try, right? That's one side. And so I have these two sides that are conflicting, and yeah. And no matter which side I choose, I cannot not put effort into living my life. It's not like I can just slack off now. Does that make sense? It's not like I can just, yeah, we'll take it easy because I'm satisfied with UIUC or house. I'm satisfied with blank or what school. It doesn't work like that for me for some reason. If I choose the former, I have to keep striving to do some, more stuff that I kind of want to do, but I know is going to be beneficial for college, because Brown is not a guarantee, right? It's an Ivy League school, right? So I still have to put in the effort, regardless of my current chances, because I want to, get rejected with the peace of mind that I actually tried my best. And if we go with the latter approach where it says, oh, we'll just apply and try out for MIT, the consensus is not, oh, I'll just apply and try out for MIT while slacking off for the next 7 months. It's, I will try my absolute best to get into MIT, even though I probably know I won't, but I'll try my absolute. Actually, this mindset is also a lie. Do I believe I'm going to get rejected from MIT? Mostly, yes. But if you ask me, I mean, if I thought I was going to get rejected 100%, why would I even apply, right? I think there's a slim but existing chance of me getting accepted. Reason being, uniqueness. It's just, so the way I'm framing my narrative right now is hands-on, human-centered design and engineering. It's not, the point is not, oh, I'm really good at making robots, or I'm really good at mechatronics, or I'm the best in my class for math. It's, I have been to Seoul Station, and instead of making some kind of chatbot or some moving, walking robot that helps homeless people, or that acts like it helps homeless people, I made a urination basket that actively stops the piss from evaporating into the air 24/7. That's the kind of projects that I've done. So the story is it's interesting. That at least that's what I'm hoping for. And the admission officer might just go, "Huh, no Olympiads? Well, that goes into the bin." But look, I'm just hoping for a miracle here. Hopefully, one guy looks at it, or one ma'am or sir or other preferred pronoun looks at it and goes, "Huh, that's interesting. Well, we'll keep this guy." And then they read my essay, and then they're like, okay, maybe perhaps. Honestly, that's basically all I'm counting for. And the great thing is, if it doesn't work out, sure, I'll just go to UT Austin and UIUC. And my counselor's probably gonna kill me because she doesn't think UIUC and UT Austin and U Michigan are safeties. But like, if I get rejected to all of them, I'm just not gonna go to college. Like, that's a joke. I'm gonna apply to UK too, but okay, you kind of get where I'm looking at right now. See, it's just, why not go beyond? If you already have a safe baseline, why not try harder? Why not go beyond? You know, it's only 7 months. Yeah, it's gonna be 7 months of like agonizing pain, but like that's just daily here, right? It's just agonizing pain. So I'll try hard for the next 7 months. I might just decide on writing Northwestern or Duke actually in the end too. But for now, it's either MIT and either get accepted to MIT or rejected and apply to all the state colleges or public colleges, or apply to Brown, get accepted or rejected, then apply to most liberal arts colleges and public colleges. So that's where I stand right now. I think both are really good plans. So yeah, that's it. And if you're wondering what this is basically this is just my lacrosse strings. It's the stuff, it's my sidewall string, and so I just made a makeshift handle. But this is basically a laser cut piece. It's a knife of sorts, but as you can see, there is no edge here. It's just a 3mm thick stainless steel plate that I got laser cut. I had somebody laser cut it for me. And I just thought the blade shape was really cool. So I got the inspiration from a kukri. So if you know what a kukri is, it's basically like a knife that also doubles as an axe, a hand axe. So I got the design from a kukri, but I just thought it was really cool. So that's why I laser cut it. But that's basically it. Also, I applied to the U Chicago summer camp thing. I totally forgot about that, but that totally happened. So I actually have no idea if I got accepted or not. They're gonna tell me like later on. I believe it's something gonna be either this week, either near the end of this week or early next week. So if I ever get to know the results, if I'm accepted, I will let you know. All right, that is basically it. I think at least for the next 2 to 3 days, I'm going to be completely alone because my roommates are sick, which is sad. But I was sick, so I know what they feel like. Hopefully they get better soon. And hopefully all of my projects and all of my tests and everything works out for everyone. All right, see ya. And I'm also doing the Hanwha Science Challenge. That's an interesting project. If it goes well, I'll tell you about it later. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.